Hey, welcome to the Business Beauty Network podcast where business meets beauty. I'm your host, Brandy Taylor. Welcome. I'm super excited to have you here. We have an awesome episode in store for you. I've been in this industry for over 16 years, and it is my goal to bring thought provoking conversations from business and beauty professionals to help us grow our business and expand our minds. And as I would say, it's not just lipstick, it's business. So we mixed in a little fun and we drop episodes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can also subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to your podcast as well. So make sure you check us out there and listen to it and subscribe there. Also, click the bell in YouTube so that you don't miss an upload. You also want to make sure that you check out our podcast on our website at businessbeautynetwork.com. You can email us at hello@businessbeautynetwork.com. We are super excited to have you a part of this community. And here is today's episode. Hey, welcome to the podcast. We have an awesome guest today, Kim Roxie. I'm going to give you a little bit of Kim's bio. I'm super excited to have Kim on the podcast today. Make sure you are subscribed to the Business Beauty Network podcast, wherever you're listening, watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Here's a little bit of Kim's bio. Southern Belle, seasoned makeup artist, licensed esthetician, and mother of the cosmetic executive women, Kim Roxie experienced firsthand how women of color have been overlooked in the clean beauty market. At the age of 21, with a $500 investment, she opened her own makeup shop that catered to multicultural women in her hometown, Houston, Texas. After running it for 14 years, in 2020, Roxie launched LAMIK Beauty as an e-commerce clean beauty company, making LAMIK Beauty the first Black-owned clean beauty makeup brand carried by the major beauty specialty retailers, Ulta.com, changing the clean beauty game in Houston, Texas, and beyond. Welcome, Kim Roxie. Hey, Kim, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Awesome. I'm super excited to have you today.
Super excited to
So,
be here.
great. So before we talk about LAMIK Beauty and all the awesome things you're doing in your business, tell us something about yourself that most people would not know.
That I was kicked out of high school at 16.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I got into an altercation. I was, and you have to know that I was a varsity cheerleader. I was the keyboardist to the jazz band. I was the piano accompanist to the choir because I grew up playing the piano. So I played the piano for the choir at my high school. But I got into an altercation, got in trouble one time, and ended up getting kicked out of high school. But I always love to share that to show that you can rebound.
Yeah, definitely. We all, have our different journeys in life, but, we definitely can change. We can rebound, come back and do something great. So now I'm glad you shared that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
So tell us your beauty story. Like you've been in the industry for quite some time. So tell us how you started your beauty journey.
I started my beauty journey when I was in college. So I was in college. I needed a part-time job. So I went to the mall looking for a job, and I ended up working at a makeup counter, finding a job at a makeup counter. I had never done makeup before. Like, seriously, I never had done anybody's face. I had never touched anybody's face. So this was something that was not like, something I had dreamed of doing. I dreamt of doing. This was just something that I needed a job, and this is who hired me. So I started working there. Maybe a couple of weeks into working there, my supervisor comes to me and she's like, "What are you telling these women?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" She's like, "You don't even do makeup that good, but you're selling more makeup than me. You're selling more makeup than anybody in here. What are you telling these women?" And I said, "You know what? I have fell in love with making women feel good about themselves." I was like, I just tell them the truth, how beautiful they are, how lovely they are, what I think about them, their features. And that turned into me becoming a top sales producer at this particular makeup store, and working there my whole college time. And my senior year of college, it was like, Kim, what are you going to do when you grow up? What are you going to do? Like, it's after college. And I was thinking I was going to get a job in public relations, which I was getting my degree in, but I had no job offers, got no callbacks when I sent in my resume because I had no experience because I had only been working at this makeup counter. And so the only thing I had to fall back on was that makeup experience I had. And so I decided to open up my own makeup shop in Houston, Texas, where I'm from. I went to school in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Clark Atlanta University. And I decided to open up this makeup shop where women that were my complexion, women that I saw that were being overlooked by the beauty industry could be celebrated. And that's when I decided to open up that makeup shop in Houston. And, 21 years old, and just took that leap and opened it up and ended up keeping it open for 14 years.
Wow.
and that was my entry into the beauty industry.
Wow, 14 years. So you did something right. Now at 21, that's like a big leap to decide, okay, I just got out of college. All I got is this makeup experience. I can't get a job, with my degree. So let me just, open up a makeup shop. Like, what was it hard? Like, did you have anything to overcome during that time in the beginning stages?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot to overcome. They didn't even want to rent to me in the mall. They did not even want to rent a space to me for me to open up this makeup shop. So I had to be assertive, aggressive, persistent, persuasive, a little annoying in a way, just to be able to rent because they were not trying to rent to me there. And then, I had to go out and get customers. I had to, not be scared to talk to people. That's the part. Like, I think a lot of times when we think about scared or fear, we think about like what might not happen per se. And for me, it was just like, no, I just got to go talk to these people. I got to see what's going to happen. I wasn't really thinking about the future too much. And I think that's the part that really helped me. I wasn't really thinking about the future. I was thinking about just right then, like making it to the next month, making it to the next day.
Right. But what you had to get customers, because so you opened a store in the mall. Like kind of describe to us like what it took for you to get out there and get the customers and to get people excited about coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I just walked down to the food court to go get customers like that. And there was none passing by my store because where my store was located, it actually was like in the desert of the mall. Like they actually were making fun of the part of the mall that I'm in. And they were saying it was out of the country because nobody would walk down that way because it was all like vacant stores. But the mall did that on purpose, put me there because they just thought I was going to fail. So they said, like you should just go fail over there by yourself. But then when they saw that it was working, they went and moved me to the middle of the mall where everybody was. But for me first, I had to go down to the food court, walk people from the food court all the way down to my store. So we literally built a whole relationship on a 5-minute walk back to my store.
Oh.
So by then they would buy something, right? And so that's how I, built my clientele and grew my clientele then.
Now, what type of services did you offer there? Like, was it just, did you sell makeup products or did you offer makeup artistry or what type of services did you offer?
I have to be real with you, Brandy, because I'm always so real about who I am. And I just took a glance at myself this whole time. I've been like looking up. I just looked at myself and I have to say, I look so damn good. So I just want to acknowledge.
Yes, honey.
And so I just want to acknowledge. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes you have to do that to yourself, right? And Brandy, with that cute face you got, okay, those cheekbones, I know you do it to yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be like, you know what, I'm cute. Like I just understand that. So anyway, back to the story. But I think that's just, such a big part of the reason why I like to be in this industry is that I like to, let other people know, like it's okay to abort and to leave behind anything that someone said to you about your appearance, about the way you look, about the way you are, that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, And I think that that's what I did when I walked those people down to the store. That's what I did when, finally the owner of the mall, after 3 months of being in this like deserted area, came to me and said, "You're really making this work. You want to move down next to Victoria's Secret?" And I was like, yes. And, I think that that type of tenacity and ambition is well needed. And entrepreneurship has built so much character in me. And so, why I started, it was for bringing and celebrating our skin tones. I then decided to transition, in 2018 to close my store, which was working quite fine. My store was in a freestanding location. It was working well, but I decided to close it because I saw the future of beauty and I wanted to get on top of that. And so I decided to close my store and then concentrate on the makeup line itself.
Mm-hmm. So having the store for 14 years, share like the biggest lesson that you learned on your entrepreneurial journey.
On that part of the journey, I think I've learned so many lessons. That's why I said it built so much character in me. I think that a big lesson I learned is that, our businesses serve such huge purposes. What I realized was when I had my store, sometimes I didn't realize the significance that it served in the community. And looking back on it, when I meet people and I look at the outcomes and we look at what we did, we helped to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for breast cancer, breast health. Women, uninsured Black women get mammograms and screenings. We've raised money for domestic violence. We've raised money for HIV/AIDS awareness for girls and young adults. We have, I could go on and on, to be honest. We did all of this through this store. And I think the biggest lesson I learned is that even though it feels like, because when I felt like all the time I was just like working and trying to, do it. But now that I look back, I'm like, man, we really did that. Like we really helped our community, really a part of it. And I think that those little steps that you take, the little bit that you do, it all adds up. It all adds up. And I think just my biggest lesson is just knowing that you are significant. Your contributions, what you do, is significant.
Awesome. So when you closed your store, decided to start your cosmetic line, what was your thought process behind it? Like, was it scary? How did that process work for you?
Yeah, so I had already started making products at our store. So that's the reason why I knew that I had to take it national, because it was working so well in our store. It was working so well with our customers. And also I was looking at the landscape, and my mom, who was the person who gave me the $500 to help me open up my store, developed metastatic breast cancer. And we started to do a lot of research around breast cancer and what causes it and all these kind of different things. And my mom wore makeup every single day. So my mom was the makeup girl. If anybody was to have a makeup shop, it would be my mother. So, it's like she had one through me and through, the work that we did. But like, she wore makeup every single day. And so we did the research. I was like, oh, these ingredients inside of makeup. And then the data doesn't lie. 75% of beauty products marketed to women of color are toxic.
Wow.
There have been studies that have shown the link between parabens and breast cancer. Like, these are the things that I researched and looked at in personal care products and at the risks that we're put at. And I just knew that I had to concentrate on this makeup brand, and we had to put it out just to honor my mother's legacy, because my mom ended up passing away. And so it's just really important. And so I think for me, it's always something like driving me. And I don't know if, like when I felt the push to close my store, I really felt the push to make room for more people. Like, we gotta go save our people. We gotta go take care of our women. That same gusto I had about opening up that store to do that, to celebrate and to do that. Now I'm like, oh, we got to go save them. Like, we got to go do this. That's what pushes me. That's what drives me. And so, yeah, I think I get caught up in that wave. And so being scared, it's like an afterthought, not the first thought.
Awesome, awesome. So, entering into the clean beauty industry, it's clear that you saw that there was a need that you wanted to fulfill with your brand. So, kind of, share what you saw lacking in this industry that you wanted to add with LAMIK Beauty.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to add was products that could perform and show up on our skin tone, but we're free of some of the known toxic ingredients that we knew about to get rid of. Like, I think that, we don't ever claim to be perfect and superior or anything like that. We're just doing the best we can. We want to just put out the best products we can. That's the reason why I also talk about like knowing when a product expires and all that kind of stuff. Like, we just want you to be armed with the tools so your beauty experience doesn't turn into an ugly experience, because it's not being utilized in the right way. So that's our point and our purpose. So I think that for me, when we're saying clean beauty, we're also saying non-toxic beauty. We're saying non-toxic beauty images. So the images of beauty and changing up what that looks like is also really important, because telling someone that only this image is beautiful is toxic as well. So we get rid of that too. So that's like, those are all those ways that we're serving. We're actually able to, our manufacturer is here in Houston. So we're actually making our products here in Houston. That's huge. When you think about, it's almost like buying from a farmer's market, right? Where, when you buy from a farmer's market, it's like the local fresh vegetables. That's like if you think about it, that's like the most organic, right? Like food you can get is right there. Like, it's made right there, versus some fruit that's being taken off from overseas. You're like, they brought this fruit all the way from Puerto Rico. Like, it's been like, it's not that they have good fruit over there, but it's just like all that travel time, all that it takes. And so when you think about our makeup is made right here in Houston, it's not made in some other country where then it has to be shipped, sitting on a boat. It takes time. Like, it's literally being made here and then being put out. And I think that that's something that also, that makes us very unique, at what we're doing.
Now that is phenomenal that you're able to keep it like that. Now, is that sometimes I find that can be costly,
Well, actually, with the way that the supply chain is costly not to.
Okay.
Because you think about it, right? The supply chain is things getting caught up on shipments, on boats, taking longer. We're not experiencing that, right? Yeah, we're not experiencing that.
Mm-hmm. But I would say that not that there's nothing's wrong with it. I think that's phenomenal that you keep it in house and it's in the U.S. and it's made here, homegrown. What I'm saying is that sometimes people think the best way to do is to outsource it because it's more affordable to outsource to other countries and things of that nature.
That's what I'm saying. It's actually not. Sometimes it seems that way, right? And for a lot of people it has, but people sometimes don't know about all the resources that are out there. And I must say, we're in a position where we're working with my chemist and my team, my manufacturer. Like, we're working like in a very special, unique situation, right? And so for other people, yeah, it might be the case, but I'm just finding with the pandemic and everything, you want to be able to have it here so you can see what's going on, what's happening, how long the travel time is. Like, those are things, because we get some components from overseas, like some of our components, like the actual packaging, some things. And yeah, it's like, when is it going to show? It's like, it's not as, and you get it. And for us, we get it not just because it's more attainable from a price structure. It's just that in the US, a lot of these components and stuff are not even being made. So that's the kind of thing that, like, we can actually make the makeup here, formulate here, it's just, I find it's just been even better because we're just here, right here with it, hands on, and all of that travel time, all of that, all those different things that go into it, that you're not able to sort of have your pulse on, that we're able to have our pulse, our hand on the pulse here, is, I found, has been much better. And I'm talking from an indie brand that doesn't have big venture capital money yet, so believe me, I'm very price conscious about what we do, but I found it to be even better.
Great, great. So I was going to ask you that. So, had you received any funding or anything for it, and how did you go about marketing and getting your brand out there? Because you're an Ulta, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we have been able to fund our company, one through, I went through an accelerator. That's how we started off our sort of like pre-seed sort of accelerator check that we got, but we've been bootstrapping. We're raising a round now though, so we're excited about that. So we have been bootstrapping. I had been doing pitch competitions. We had done a crowdfunding campaign on iFund Women, where we raised about $75,000 in a matter of like 2 months.
Wow.
From our potential new customers in 2019, because we're gearing up to launch in 2020. We actually did a pitch competition to get on Ulta.com through Black Girl Ventures and Rare Beauty Brands. And we won that national beauty pitch competition. That's how we got on Ulta.com. So we have been very big about, telling our story. And that's something that, we have done, and that has served us well to be able to get over the fact that only 2% of women raise venture capital. Only under 1% of Black women raise venture capital. So, for us, either I was going to let that stop me, or we have to be more creative about how we did it, or push through to try to get it done. But so for us, we've just been able to utilize those type of ways, apply for grants. I've been able to do that as well. So we've raised over 6 figures in grants and pitch competitions to put LAMIK in the marketplace and to work. And now we're raising a seed round, which I'm excited to say that iFund Women actually came back around and did our first check in our round. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So because they came up with a venture arm. So, we're excited about what's to come and what we're doing over at LAMIK.
Well, thanks for sharing that, because there's always I see that stuff all the time, and I'll talk to people and they're like, well, I can't get funding, and I'm like, well, did you try to get pitch competitions, or did you try this? And a lot of times they're not entering those competitions, they're not applying for the grants, and there's so much money on the table. So I'm glad you kind of shared that you were able to do that. Now, did you find it difficult to share your story and position yourself? Sometimes they require a lot of information. Was that a hard process?
Yeah, I mean, you start to get used to it, right? You start to kind of get used to sharing and giving that information, and sort of getting into a flow of what, because of what's necessary. Because some applications ask different questions. But then some of them, pretty much ask the same thing. How did you get started? What was your inspiration? What's the problem that you're solving? What's the solution? What's your market size? Right? Like it's all of these questions that you'll start to get used to, and you'll know that they're going to be asking you about. But start to get really good at telling your story. Start to get really good at sharing, why you're here. For me, when they asked me, why did you come out with a bra product first? Like, why was that your first product? Why is that your hero product? Why is, all of that? And I share with them about me having a form of alopecia. Right. And so, and me creating the brow duo, which I have here. to fill in my brows and to, I put that on my brows to fill them in, and I put this underneath to highlight it. But why I created this was because of my former alopecia. I tell that story, right? You can't try to, everything is, a product is birthed out of a problem, out of, something we need a solution for. And so that's just something that I share. And it resonates with people. People can understand it. People get it. Some people have hair loss from menopause. Some people have hair loss because of thyroid. Some people are like, have alopecia from a child. Like some people just have gotten their eyebrows like messed up so many times that they're not growing in, right? Or some people eyebrows are just sparse. It's like so many different reasons that sometimes that might resonate with people. But I think it's just so important to like tell your story and why, and the solution that you come up with. And then that way people can know, all right, I see that they, no matter what, it's going to try to make sure that this product comes to the marketplace because they understand the need for it and everything. And so that's just something that I find that I think is really important. And don't get discouraged by, oh, I didn't get picked this time, or I didn't win. I also look at these as marketing opportunities. I mean, you get in front of judges that are, most of these judges for most pitch competitions and stuff are important people, right? Like in some kind of capacity, they hold influence. And so I think that like getting in front of them is like a marketing opportunity. You might pitch in front of an audience. That's a marketing opportunity. Like just think about that when you crowdfund, that's like marketing. Like, so just those kind of different things. I think also if we take a different approach to it, a different point of view, and we see it bigger than just, oh, I got to talk in front of people or whatever, whatever your hang up is, and you see it as a bigger opportunity for your company, I think sometimes we'll go after them.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing it. I think that could definitely be helpful for, some people who may be interested in starting their brand, or maybe, thought about like, how can I get funding for this idea that I have, and things of that nature. So I really appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
So moving forward, like, where do you see you going with your brand in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, oh my goodness, I need to be like making sure I'm journaling right now. So in the next 5 years, I could say, man, look what you were thinking. Look how I need to take pictures of everything. Like, because, in the next 5 years, I'm really excited about what'll be happening with LAMIK. Right now, we're already seeing entry into retail distribution, and we're seeing our impact on this industry already happening. As you shared in my bio, we are the first clean, non-toxic, Black-owned makeup brand to launch into the largest beauty specialty retailer, and that is Ulta.com. And I think, the barriers will break over the next 5 years will be huge. And I'm really excited about us growing a team to do that. Already our team is just so magnificent. We have a small, lean team, but I'm just so excited about us growing. I'm excited about, also the impact we'll make around people being more conscious about the beauty products they use, how they use them, when they get rid of them, all that kind of stuff. We have something called the Makeup Refresh Box, where it's a bi-monthly subscription box, and it's new products that are exclusive to the box that we send out. But it's basically to help you to keep replenishing your makeup, get rid of old makeup. Think of makeup like food. You just don't keep food because you bought it, right? Like I can't be like, I bought that food even though I didn't eat it. And I'm like, I bought it, so I'm not getting rid of it, right?
Right. Let me share a quick story because I'm a makeup artist too. So years ago, I used to teach makeup lessons, and it was this older lady. She probably, was like in her mid to late 50s.
Yeah.
And she wanted to learn how to properly apply her makeup. Well, we were going through, I'll have them go through their makeup bag and kind of like tell them like, what products they may need to get rid of and what products they may need to add, so we go through the bag. And she had a blush that I think it was from like Fashion Fair, but it was like 20 years ago or something. I'm telling you. And when she told me about it, and she probably opened up this 20-year-old compact with a blush in it, I said, throw it away. And she looked at me like I was insane. I said, please throw that away. I said, I would never suggest you put that on your face. And so after that, we started looking through and I figured out that all her makeup was expired. So I just put out my kit. I put out my kit, like, look, I got stuff for you. I'm going to help you here.
Right.
And I was like, because you can't use none of this stuff in this kit. I didn't realize how many people were just keeping stuff forever and ever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, what's interesting is, like you just said, be proud. You know what I mean? Like, but not knowing, because nobody really talks about it, right? It's just kind of like, oh, you bought it. They think it's like clothes. Makeup is not like clothes. It's not. It's not like clothes. It's like food. It's like something perishable. It's over. It has to go. So to a certain extent, we're actually bringing some awareness that has not been put out there. So
yes, I think that's phenomenal because a lot of people struggle with that. I saw that over and over too, where when I was doing my one-on-one sessions, I increased the price to include a small makeup kit so that I could make sure they had fresh makeup and everything that they needed, because it was so many times people was coming with like 10, 15-year-old makeup. And I'm like, no. Like, how long have you had this?
Exactly. And it's like it could be doing something they're not even aware of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so innocent, not knowing. So I love that. Okay, so we got to talk. We got to put some products in these little small kits you doing.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, so I think that's phenomenal to have like so it's a membership. So how exactly does it work? So it's bi-monthly and they pay for the membership and they get the box, right? What do they get in it?
So they get 4 products in it. They get actually a face product, an eye product, and like usually a lip product. It's kind of like the 3 categories. And then they get a bonus, sort of like surprise mystery gift inside of there. And so it has been working really well. If you subscribe to the box, it's only $59, which is really good for us, especially for our price point of our products. And so to get like 4 products for $59. And then it comes bi-monthly and it's delivered in, and on the box, we actually have the expiration dates for makeup. It'll tell you all that. So you'll have that information. We're coming out with something to also help with people getting rid of their makeup on time. So I'm excited about the launch of that. So stay tuned to that. We have something to help people, an accessory. But yeah, like that bi-monthly box has been going so well. And then also we have a separate sort of like subscribe and save option for like our mascara. Mascara you're supposed to get rid of in 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Mm-hmm. And so we have a mascara subscription that we have customers on, and it delivers to their house every 3 months. And
that's awesome.
And to be honest, I'm like on it because like I can't remember when I bought the mascara. Like I can't remember when I got one of those mascaras. Like, so, just that, it's so important because when something happens to your eyes, like you ever have like a sty or an eye infection or something, it sort of makes your whole face look like, you're sick, like, yeah. So like using bad mascara puts you at risk of eye infections and stuff like that. And I'm like, my eyes are too small. I can't take no chances. So no.
Yeah. I would have people that would buy say they would buy a Dior, because, it's like $30-some a tube of mascara. They did not want to throw it away because, it's Dior. They pay so much for it. I'm like, well, I don't care. It's been over 2 months and it has to go.
Look, you see my head. Like,
yeah, but I want to talk about this custom blend foundation because you know how you see custom blend, it'd be like this white stuff they put on their face. And then you're like, that's never going to work for me. I saw one recently and the deep shade, that was not deep. And I knew it would not work for me. So I've seen custom blends foundations before, but I want you to talk about yours because I know that you do a custom blend for women of color.
Yeah, I do. We do a custom blend foundation. And we got into it because when the pandemic, when we launched, I had some foundation around that I was, sort of like messing with, doing different stuff with. And I was like, hey, because people have to do their makeup from home. And they're like, I don't know how to mix this. I don't know how to do this. And I was like, hey, what about if we just did a custom blend foundation? Would you want that? And I put it on Facebook and I got all these comments. All of these comments. And I was like, all right, send me a picture. I'm going to send you a sample. That's how we started. No strings attached. Just send me a picture. I'll send you a sample. Well, that's what happened. And I got all these pictures. And so then we had to whip out all these samples. And then people were like, oh, I want it. How much is it? I want to buy it. I've never had anything match my skin like this. I suffer from acne. I've had nothing cover my scars like this, but still look natural. Oh my gosh. Usually when I put makeup on, it burns. This doesn't burn. Like all these different things we were hearing. And it's like the most 5-star review product on our website. People love it. To be honest, I'm still shocked that we're like custom blending foundation for people that we've never met. But it's happening. And we look at these pictures and we're able to see the undertone and whip out a foundation that matches.
That's awesome. So, like, it's made to order for each customer. Is that how it goes?
Yep. They send us a picture. They go on our website. You purchase the custom blend foundation. We send you a sample. You approve it, and then we send you the full one.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's that. I like. It's very personalized too, right?
Yeah. It's personalized. It's not like, gone are the days, because a part of buying makeup online too is like, how do I know the right one for me and all that kind of stuff. Gone are the days of that. Like even when it comes to our eyebrow duo, we have a quiz on our website. Fill out the quiz. We will tell you which one you need, right? We'll recommend the right one for you. We'll suggest. And we've been so spot on with that. We have some augmented reality technology that we even use, like try it on, like, that kind of thing. With the foundation, with the custom blend foundation, it's so personalized because it's like no need to like try to figure out which foundation you wear. Just send us a picture. We got you. It's like concierge almost. Like it's such the white glove service.
I think that is phenomenal. So like, what about repeat orders and things like that? Do you keep like their color on file, or how do you do all that?
Yeah, we do.
That might be like a subscription thing too. Like send them another foundation, and if you're not doing that one, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because if they have a custom blend foundation, when would they need one? Maybe I don't think I buy a foundation every month. Maybe every 2 months.
Yeah, and to be honest, for most everyday women, they're probably going through their foundation. Sometimes their cycle is even longer than that. Sometimes their cycle can be anywhere from 3 to 9 months. And so but to be able to subscribe to it, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Well, Kim, you've shared so much about LAMIK Beauty and all the things that you're doing.
Thank you.
I really appreciate having this conversation and having you on. I think it's phenomenal what you're doing to bring clean beauty for women of color, and really caring about our needs and what and putting products that are not harmful on our skin. So I really think that's phenomenal. But share with us, like, I know it hasn't been like all exciting. So like, I want you to share a little bit of your entrepreneurial journey, far as like what has been the hardest part and what has been the best part so far.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all been, one big adventure. I think that when I think about what's hard is just like, again, I talked about like the statistics around funding and that kind of thing. I think what's hard is sometimes just pushing through that. Sometimes, you might see your counterparts or other people who might look a little different from you seem like they get funding easier or something like that. The hard part is not comparing yourself to somebody else, fulfilling your journey, going on yours, fulfilling your purpose. That I think, that's something to think about. Also too, just like all the work that it takes. I mean, it takes a lot of work. And I think that, I might be almost like so used to working a lot that I don't even realize like that how it is. And so it's, you know, in a way I feel like an athlete in some ways. Like I just, you know, go and push, you know, like just like always in that mode. And I think that, um, you know, having people around you who understand what you're doing, what you're on, your family understand, can be hard sometimes. But yeah, I think, yeah. So when I think about hard, to be honest, I think more from a internal versus an external, because anything can be considered hard, right? Like we could try to do something like, oh, that's hard, like that's hard to find, or that's hard, da, da, da. Anything can be considered hard. So I think for me, it always sort of is like turn the mirror back around to me and just like, okay, if it was easy, then I wouldn't even be here trying to make it happen. So I'm really over here trying to do the impossible. But, with God, all things are possible. So like, I think that, yeah, I mean, it's, we talked about less than 1%, of funding going to Black women to build these type of companies. So like, I'm going against the odds. So hard is like, that's like normal. Like hard is normal, if you know what I mean. I just don't look at it the same. I'm just like, and somebody else probably could come in and look and sort of have a bird's eye view, or just come in and be able to see things like, oh man, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. You got to, get up at, early in the morning, work through da 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 da. Have a family, da da. Do this. That's hard. It's like, yeah, like, but it's normal, right? It's just normal. And I think that that's something that's there. But at the same time, that's the reason why I like to have fun. I like to be authentic, and just enjoy my life and enjoy myself in this journey and live through it all, because that's also the part of entrepreneurship that I love, is the freedom to like be myself and have fun. What would be hard to me is conforming. That would be the hard. Like, seriously.
What advice would you give someone that's looking to start their own line?
To know your purpose of why you're starting it. Because if you just like kind of doing it because it's just like, I saw somebody else do it and it looked like it worked for them. That's not going to keep driving you. That's not going to work. Right. So, but having a real purpose for doing it is, I think it's like the most important thing. And, be willing to, also like make mistakes, without getting discouraged, because everybody does it. The big brands do it. Everybody make mistakes, have issues, this and that. So also just, don't be discouraged by those things too.
Now, where do you go for motivation? Is it a podcast? Is it a book? Like, where do you get your motivation from?
I get my motivation from my daily word that I read, that I have with me all the time. My Bible app with my scripture in there. I get my motivation from, I like to be, a lot of times I'm like in different programs or different communities of people. And I get my motivation from like, if there's like a master class that I'm going to, or there is just me and some friends who are founders that are getting together to chat, like that's sort of my community is really big for me. So I like to talk to other founders and other entrepreneurs, and that's really helps to motivate me too.
Awesome. Tell everybody how they can find you and LAMIK Beauty.
Yeah, they can find us on Instagram at LAMIK Beauty, on Facebook, facebook.com/LAMIK Beauty. And then also me personally, I'm on Instagram at the Kim Roxie, TheKimRoxie. And our website is LAMIKBeauty.com, which you have on the screen. But then also go to Ulta.com and just get you something there, please. Get you something there. Go buy you some LAMIK on Ulta.com.
Kim, do you have anything else you want to share with us before we go?
I just want to say thank you, Brandy, for having me. Thank you for providing this platform. Thank you for sharing with me. And I think that, you know, every day we're going higher and higher.
I love it. Kim Roxie, everybody. As always, stay great, and we are out.